Now on the CTV News at 5. Still missing. Search efforts to find 5-year-old Darius McDougall continue for a third day. Plus, the nominations are in and the countdown is on until the municipal election. The changes you need to know before hitting the polls. And mobile mammograms.
We bring the service to them.
Women in rural Alberta now have access to a potentially life-saving technology on wheels.
Telling your stories. CTV News Lethbridge with Jacqueline Wilson.
Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. The search for a missing 5-year-old boy in the Crow's Nest Pass is now onto its third day. Darius McDougall was last seen walking with his 6 siblings near the campsite in the backcountry before he got separated. Carson Marsuck reports efforts to find the young boy continue day and night.
The search continues near Island Lake in the Crow's Nest Pass for 5-year-old Darius McDougall.
What they are now doing is expanding search area. As time goes on, there's a potential that young Darius may have left the initial search area. So that search area will continuously be increased.
RCMP say Darius was walking with his siblings on a mountain road that allows camping on Crown land when he got separated around 11:30 Sunday morning. McDougall has autism and police say that may prevent him from responding to others. More than 72 hours later, search and rescue crews are continuing to canvass the area on foot and in the sky.
We are offering every SAR resource possible throughout Alberta and BC to support this search.
The area off of Highway 3 near the Alberta-BC boundary includes steep terrain, with dozens of search and rescue members focusing on an area about 2 kilometers in.
At this point, there's no indication that foul play is involved in this. But again, we keep our investigations very broad at this point, and we're looking at every single possibility.
Those living in the area say the search for the little boy is on the minds of everyone.
It's just so devastating. You know, we live in such a beautiful area, and to think they're out for a walk and this little fellow just wandered off. I mean, our hearts break for the family. I can't imagine what they are going through.
It's rough country out there. I understand it's up Montrum Creek. It's rough country, and I really hope for a successful outcome.
And while the search continues, officials say they remain confident that Darius will be found alive.
We are still in the stage right now where we are still very, very hopeful. No, there's no talk on the ground of anything other than a positive outcome.
Carson Marsuck, CTV News, Crow's Nest Pass.
Vancouver police are warning the public that convicted sex offender Randall Hopley has been released from custody and is now living in that city. Hopley is under strict conditions, including a curfew and a ban on being near children under the age of 16, and the VPD will work with correctional services to monitor him. The 6-year-old has a long history of breaching conditions, including fleeing a halfway house earlier this year and refusing to comply with supervising orders. Hopley was placed on long-term supervision after serving his sentence for abducting a 3-year-old boy in Sparwood in 2011. The boy was returned physically unharmed. Police say he poses a high risk to reoffend and is asking anyone who sees him to breaching his conditions to call 911. Today, the federal government announced implementation plans for the gun buyback program this fall. The Liberals say this will allow them to test the process, but today it was the minister responsible who was tested. Rachel Aiello reports.
Have you not failed at the task of getting this moving faster?
Absolutely not.
The public safety minister faced tough questions today as he unveiled the next phase of the federal firearm buyback.
The opening of the program to individual owners.
A program that he questioned the efficacy and enforceability of in audio leaked just yesterday.
I have absolute confidence in this program.
Then why did you say what you said?
After a Cape Breton test run, owners nationwide of the more than 2,000 makes and models of firearms that the Liberals have outlawed will be contacted with instructions on how to participate. Those seeking compensation will either be able to turn their firearms over to local police after scheduling a time online, or keep them after proving they've been deactivated by a licensed gunsmith. The public safety minister said the context of his recorded comments were that he wanted the program implemented faster. But now, years after the buyback was first promised, firearms owners have until October 2026 to comply. And critics are calling for Gary Anandasangari's resignation.
On Monday, a minister says that his program won't work. On Tuesday, he says he's going ahead with the program.
The minister also faced calls today from gun control groups to expand the ban, saying unless additional semi-automatics are added, Canada's buyback program will be a waste of the more than $700 million already allocated. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
Lethbridge County is once again issuing a fire restriction. The change comes after a period of warm and dry conditions. That means controlled burns requiring a permit and fireworks are still off limits. Recreational fires, burning barrels and charcoal briquette grills, they are still allowed. The county is advising anyone still harvesting to check their equipment regularly to avoid any sparks. And Danielle, we were just talking about those tinder dry conditions, and I know we've been talking, I think that sun is staying out for a bit longer. What do you say?
Yeah, we got a long stretch of this, Jackie. It's going to be fantastic, really, for the next 5 to 10 days. A little blips in between here and there, but overall, this is a good stretch of sunny weather and a good stretch of heat. So we're looking at another couple quite hot days for tomorrow and the next day as well, thanks to this ridge of high pressure that's in place. So ridge of high pressure, the jet stream up here, and we have sinking air. We have that sunshine, stability. Temperatures have been able to climb. Check this out. We talked about this yesterday. It's 29 degrees. And yes, sunny. When we look at other communities, 28 in Medicine Hat and Brooks and Drumheller. Oh my goodness. We'll talk more about that longer range forecast coming up, Jackie.
All right, thanks so much, Danielle. The field is set for the upcoming municipal election, but with changes to how votes are being counted, it will take longer to learn who's been elected. Quinn Keenan has more.
Monday at noon was the deadline for any nominees for the municipal election. Now, 24 hours later, the dropout period for any candidates has also come and gone. Voters now know who exactly will be on the ballot in October.
For mayor of the city of Lethbridge, there are 4 candidates. For the 8 positions of councillor for the city of Lethbridge, there are 18 candidates. For the 7 positions of public school trustee for the Lethbridge Public School Division, there are 14 candidates.
The Lethbridge Trade and Convention Center and YMCA will serve as polling stations starting October 8th. Trinity Reformed Church will be a polling station on election day only.
There are less voting stations, but instead efficient superstations to accommodate more people and more space from the change in legislation by the province.
New rules around vote counting will mean slower returns. The province has mandated municipal election results to be counted by hand instead of using tabulation machines. The city of Lethbridge expects it won't have full results until 2 days after the election.
Results after the election will take a bit longer as we will be hand counting the estimated 100,000 ballots. We anticipate it will take almost 20 hours for 20 teams of 4 people counting consecutively.
The city is doing what it can to speed up the process. About 400 people will work as vote counters. But even with all those extra people, we won't know exact results on election night.
We have put out a request to have the public come and help us hand count. That is closed. We are testing people right now, and they will be trained to help us hand count.
Municipal elections across Alberta will take place October 20th. Quinn Keenan, CTV News, Lethbridge.
Canada has dropped 2 legal challenges of United States duties on Canadian softwood lumber. The U.S. has long accused Canada's softwood lumber sector of violating rules on anti-dumping, flooding a market with cheaper, subsidized products to disrupt a domestic industry. The U.S. Commerce Department announced plans last month to nearly triple duties on Canadian softwood lumber to just over 20%. The federal government is still pursuing 6 other legal challenges on the matter, that is according to Global Affairs Canada. The Interfaith Food Bank will have more food to share thanks to their 17th annual Friends of Interfaith Charity Dinner and Silent Auction. The gala event at Sandman Signature Lethbridge Lodge Friday night raised over $108,000. After expenses, over $80,000 will go towards supporting emergency food assistance, community kitchen, garden, and advocacy programs. Guests participated in live and silent auctions and raised over $10,000 through the Giving Tree, which was matched by Silver Ridge Construction. All proceeds for the event help throughout the year, nearly half of whom are children. Well, it might be fall, but the heat is staying for now. Danielle is back after the break with our long-range forecast. Plus, we'll tell you about a potentially life-saving technology that women living in rural Alberta can now access. We'll have details after the break.
Oh, wow. Yes, another nice one facing west here with your Skywatch weather camera. Nothing but blue sky. So it's a stunning day today. We have a whole lot of heat out there. This heat will continue. So we're in this weather pattern up until Friday. Friday will still be hot, not quite as hot. 27 degrees is the high in Calgary today. A normal daytime high in Calgary is about 16. So we are above normal in all of southern Alberta by at least 10 degrees. Okay, Saskatoon got to 28 today. If you look way out east, 25 in Toronto. Montreal got to 21. And Halifax got to 22. So there's a lot of warmth, even though we're all into fall right now, of course. High 20s, almost 30. Milk River, Medicine Hat, Brooks, 28 in Drumheller, 26 in Pincher Creek. A little breezy today, but nothing really significant. We talked about Pincher Creek, Christmas Pass area being gusty today. So 56 kilometers per hour is the maximum gust so far. Medicine Hat, we got up to 44 and nothing registered so far in the Lethbridge area for gusts today. Calgary 43. So a little breezy at times. When you look at radar, there is nothing going on, as you can see here, and this will be a 2-day trend here. The jet stream way up to the north here, and all of this, the cloud cover, the moisture following along the jet stream. This is a ridge of high pressure, stable to the south, so that high pressure promoting that sinking air, that's the good stuff for us, and that's why we've been extending our summer a little bit. Okay, we're going to be in this weather pattern, as you can see, up until about Friday. Friday, we're going to get the jet stream shift down to the south, and we're going to allow somewhat cooler air in. So we're going to regulate a little bit. Anyway, we'll still be in the 20s. Okay, Futurecast showing you that, well, for Calgary anyway, we'll have some cloud cover creep towards Calgary as this weather pattern starts to change on Wednesday. But for the far south, we're not going to see or notice a difference until Friday. Friday, we'll have some cloud cover creep in. And Friday, of course, we will have a difference in temperature, but we'll still be above normal for the rest of this week. I'll show you the longer range forecast in just a second here. But first, East Kootenay area for tonight. 4 degrees overnight, and then 26 is the high for tomorrow. A little windy for tonight, 30 kilometer per hour gusts, and tomorrow you're looking at 40 kilometer per hour gusts, 26 degrees with nothing but sun for tomorrow. All right, Christmas Pass 12 overnight, gusting around 50 kilometers per hour over these next couple of hours, and then back again tomorrow with those gusts out of the west. 26 as the high for tomorrow with, yes, once again, a whole lot of sunshine thanks to this ridge of high pressure. Medicine Hat, 40 kilometer per hour gusts tomorrow, lots of sunshine, a high of 27 degrees. And then when we look at this longer range forecast, you can see how we're looking at temperatures in the 20s or daytime highs in the 20s for the next 5 days. In fact, likely for the next 8 days. All right, 29 as our high for tomorrow in Lethbridge. Winds gusting 40 kilometers per hour, especially in the afternoon with a whole lot of sunshine again. The sunshine continues in through Thursday, and then we talk about that weather pattern change on Friday. So we'll have some clouds creep in. Small chance of showers by then, but what you'll really notice is the temperature difference. 22 degrees by then is our daytime high. And then we're looking at the mid-20s as we head into the weekend.
The Society of Obstetricians and Gynecologists of Canada say that the use of Tylenol during pregnancy is safe.
When you look at the evidence in its totality, the overwhelming consensus is that Tylenol is safe during pregnancy. It is probably the safer alternative. Let's not forget that pregnant women do get sick. They do develop fevers. They do develop pain. Tylenol is probably safer than many of the other over-the-counter medications like Advil and ibuprofen.
The Society has reviewed its position on usage of the medication during pregnancy in light of reports drawing links between acetaminophen while pregnant and autism in children. Yesterday, U.S. President Donald Trump promoted unproven ties between Tylenol, vaccines, and autism without giving any new evidence. Women in rural Alberta now have access to state-of-the-art, potentially life-saving technology. 2 new mobile breast screening units. Amanda Anderson reports.
This trailer is designed to get attention about the importance of breast cancer screening.
The wrap is very bright and cheery, and I think it just kind of eases people's fears because mammography and breast cancer is scary.
It's one of 2 new mobile screening units, bringing a life-saving screening program to women in rural Alberta communities.
They really can't travel. It's too difficult or time-consuming or just costly to travel into a center, so we bring the service to them. It just makes it easier and better chance that they'll actually have the mammogram done.
Mary Mueller says she's accessed the mobile clinic at least 6 times in the past decade.
It's very important for access. It's great to have these trailers come to our community versus driving to the city.
So this is the actual exam room.
The new units are replacing the program's old trailers and are designed to not only be more comfortable for patients, but provide the latest breast cancer detection technology.
The mammogram technology has changed, so it can be smaller, it can be more comfortable for women. It can actually then have higher rates of detection, be more sensitive. So really want to make sure that people have access to the best screening technology.
More than 500,000 mammograms have been performed since the screening program began in 1991.
The mobile breast screening unit is incredibly important to the foundation. Breast cancer is one of the most diagnosed cancer in women in Alberta. And we also know that the earlier you catch and detect cancer, the better the survival rates are.
The Alberta Cancer Foundation still needs to raise $1.2 million to help cover costs for the mobile screening units, a service women like Mueller say is vital.
I know many people that have been detected with breast cancer through the mobile. It's very important that you do go and get your regular checkup.
The units will make regular stops in more than 100 communities throughout the province. Amanda Anderson, CTV News, Edmonton.
Do you feel lonely or suffer from anxiety? Well, a new study from UBC suggests that performing simple acts of kindness could actually make you feel better.
Acts of kindness are common. They are everywhere. They are small and doable. So any people, even with social anxiety, they feel like they can initiate one in their own surroundings. And acts of kindness usually often leads us to have a good interactions with other people as we get to see the smile that we put on someone's face.
She says that the lonelier a study participant was, the better they felt after performing an act of kindness. So she's encouraging people struggling right now to give it a try. Well, still ahead on CTV News at 5, a big announcement from Major League Baseball today, how robots will play a role next season. Tickets are on sale for the CHL USA Top Prospects Challenge. The game will see the CHL's best take on the U.S. National Development Team program. The series will be 2 games split between Lethbridge and Calgary. Game 2 of the series will be in Lethbridge November 26. Hurricane season ticket holders, you will receive a complimentary ticket to the game. Tickets can be purchased on the visitlethbridge.com arena website. Lethbridge Polytechnic Athletic Director Todd Coughlin is set to take on a national role. The national convener for Canadian Collegiate Athletic Association men's volleyball, he'll oversee the development of the college volleyball to help organize future championships. It's a full circle moment for him as he played volleyball in the ACAC, and he spent several years as a coach in the U.S. The U of L Pronghorns are recognizing one of their alumni. Former basketball standout Tim Rawlinson Jr. has been named 2025 Pronghorn Alumni of the Year. Since graduating in 1999, he became a dentist and he founded Ivory Dental. Beyond his professional success, he's given back to the community through coaching. During his time with the Horns, Rawlinson led the team to a new heights. He was a 3-year captain who led the team to 1 national ranking. He's second in the program history in 3-pointers and in assists. Robot umpires are officially making their way to the big leagues. Major League Baseball announced the move today. The automated system has been tested in the minor leagues since 2019, was used in Major League spring training. A human umpire will still be there to make each call, but the league says each team will get 2 challenges a game to appeal the automated ball strike system, which will start next season. Well, fans of the Toronto Blue Jays will want to go to tonight's game a little hungry. The team is holding another Looney Dog Night at the ballpark with a record in sight. So far this year, fans have consumed close to 750,000 Looney Dogs, with a previous season high of just over 720,000 set last year. Now, the team says the single game record was set this season last month when a crowd of over 42,000 fans ate close to 94,000 hot dogs. Golfers can play for decades without ever landing a hole-in-one. Meanwhile, some accomplish it before they've even turned 5.
Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my gosh!
Well, Levi turns 5 in December. He's been golfing for 2 years, getting into the sport after staying at an Airbnb with a golf course. The hole-in-one happened on Sunday afternoon in Knoxville, Tennessee. Levi celebrated his perfect shot with a snow cone from the clubhouse. Well, congratulations. Canada is taking a step towards becoming a powerhouse in goalball. Ontario is funding construction for the first court in Canada dedicated to goalball. Goalball is a Paralympic sport where teams try to roll a ball filled with bells into a net. And once complete, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind Lake Joseph Centre in Muskoka will become a national hub for training and competition. Still ahead on CTV News at 5, Jimmy Kimmel's back when the late night show host will make a return to Canadian screens. Next. Jimmy Kimmel Live will be back on air tonight.
A campaign that you all launched, pretending that you were going to cancel Hulu, while secretly racing through 4 seasons of Only Murders in the Building. That really worked. Congratulations.
Well, Disney suspended Kimmel last week because of comments he made in the wake of Charlie Kirk's murder. Disney says the comments were ill-timed and insensitive. Although Kimmel's suspension is over, his show will still be missing from many screens in the U.S. Sinclair, one of the biggest affiliate groups in that country, will not be airing Kimmel's show. They will air news during that time slot instead. Well, it's almost time for nature's fluffiest beauty pageant. Fat Bear Week gets underway on Tuesday at Alaska's Katmai National Park. It's a bracket-style competition where voters get to pick up their favorite brown bear bulking up for hibernation. Voters will get to see early and late summer photos of the bears. Fatter bears will have the best chance to survive winter hibernation. This marks the 11th year of the competition. The Bear 128 Glazer won the last 2 years. This winner will be announced on September 30th. Well, thank you so much for sharing this time with us. Now, here's the early edition of the CTV National News.